routine. So I'm going to start off with Tubby's Meds, otherwise known as Butter Pecan. Hi sweetie, how are you? I'm just going to get them ready over here, okay? Can you come over here? Can you come over here? Or will you make me go over there? Sweetie, come here. Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. There's one. So Butter Pecan gets every morning and every night cisapride, metoclopramide, and gas drops. And we also started her on a low dose of Medicam for some very mild arthritis in her back end. So Pecan is going to be 6. And if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you'll know that she's the piggy who has crappy digestive issues that we've tried everything to solve without medical intervention. But she's one of those special piggies that needs medication. Alright, babies, shall we tidy up? This is a donut bed that we got from Cooper's Cozy Critter Creations. Really cute bed. I'm just washing the pad that fits inside there, so I have a square one at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry. How rude. I did not see Apple on that bed, so that was rude of me. I feel bad. I'm sure she'll forgive me. So for cage cleaning, I always use dustpan and a cat litter scooper. I found the brush would just bunch up the fleece and not really get the hay out. The hay would just be stuck in the brush. So the cat litter scooper works great, and you can just buy them at the dollar store. Same with dustpans, because you do have to replace these every once in a while. Eventually I find they all break, probably from too much pressure. So when I did my video a little bit back about keeping your guinea pigs cool in the summer, I thought it would be a good idea to make that video, because when it was time to put our AC on in this new house, so I've only been in this house since December, so we had no reason to try the AC yet. And when I tried it, when we finally needed it, it didn't work. Which I guess isn't too shocking, because it was from 1994, so it was old. So silly me looking back, I should have tried it back in May rather than trying it in July. So then I could have seen that it didn't work and could have got AC long before. So I had to pull out some tricks to keep the pigs cool. So that's why I made that video. And I hated every second of worrying about them, because I've always had AC, like just for the entire house. So this was something new for me. Yeah, so I was really glad when we finally got the air conditioning put in and could get the house cool. Because we were actually good for all of May and June. Just had to open up the windows at night to really let cool air in, and it would keep the house cool during the day. But once we got into July, it starts to get really humid here in Canada, and you just could not cool the house down because there's no breeze or anything. So at one point, I just had fans going everywhere, ice packs. Luckily, like, the pigs were just fine, but still, nobody likes worrying about that. So now we are back to being able to have the blinds open, because for the week that we didn't have AC, or it's actually a couple weeks, I had to have the blinds closed to keep the heat out. It sucked. I did not like it. So our evening routine usually takes me, is there anybody under here? About an hour or less. It just depends how dirty everything is. Which I don't think is too bad. I could get it done in half an hour if I was hurrying, but I like to spend some time with them. Hi Ducky, how are you? So all of the piggies are doing really well, which is nice. The herd's been doing great. I find more and more that Velvet seems to be interacting with all the herd piggies better. Like, she always did really well. It's just she was quite shy, and it was like she didn't really know how to socialize or pick up on cues. But now I see her taking a chance at bossing some of the pigs a little bit. So she kind of stands up for herself. If she wants a bed, she'll tell somebody to get out of the bed. She's a really sweet pig, so I mean, she's not bossy as in mean, but she has no problem standing up for herself and telling them what she wants. I also had shown you guys a bit ago that we were working on clicker training, so if you guys haven't seen that video, you can check it out. But it's been working nicely for Velvet. It's going to be a long road. I'm sure she's going to take like another year to really be comfortable here, because before I got her, she had moved, I think we were the 4th house within a couple weeks that she had moved from. So I do believe she's going to be kind of like Raisin, where it's going to take her a bunch of time to get really comfortable, which is fine. I have nothing but time. So our hay boxes that we ordered have been working out awesome. A couple concerned about whether they would tip over. So in front of each of them, the 1x2 liners sit here and kind of just barely go up against the base. And I have not seen them move at all. So we have not had any trouble with that. So when I'm spot cleaning, I'm checking these pads where they eat, because they pee here a lot, making sure they don't feel wet. If they're wet, I can either flip them over to the other side or take them out completely. And it really just depends on the day for what we have to do. So the hay boxes have helped save a lot of hay. So in the boxes is the orchard grass, since that's the stuff that gets really soaked wet and what we were throwing the most out of. And then on the liners, I still will give them Timothy hay for a pile. That way they get to feel like they still have a pile to sleep in, dig under, that kind of thing. And the Timothy hay doesn't get so soaked and disgusting. So if you're new here, a lot of people will ask why I have a mask on, and it's simply because I am allergic to hay, to the dust. So if I don't have a mask on, it makes it really difficult to breathe in here, really makes my allergies act up. So having a mask on makes everything okay. I wish I didn't have to wear one, but I do. And like a lot of people, I didn't really realize how allergic I would be to the guinea pigs till I had my first one. But I still have piggies because I love them. I just have to do some modifications. Okay. We're just going to throw a little bit of this Timothy out. Oops, you bumped into each other. sweetie. Where's our next? Get rid of some of this dusty bits. How are you guys? Hi, cutie. Are you going up there on them? What do you think? Should your bed always be that high? Did I pet you today? Not today? You're fussy sometimes. Still working with Autumn to be able to pet her. It's about 50-50 I find lately of if she'll let me pet her. Like, she'll always sniff your hand. It's just a question of if you can pet her. And when you can pet her, she always looks like she enjoys it. So we'll get there. She'll be a year in September. I don't think we're doing too bad. Hi, cutie. Oh, I can pet you now? Now that I was done filming? You're so sweet. Yes, you are. Oh, and you're so soft and fluffy. Love you. Are you going for some water? What were you looking for? It was just me. I was just saying hello. Oh, now we're done. Hi, sweetie. Come on. Come on, you little turkey. I'll get you one of these days. So these guys really like Timothy hay. So I try to make sure I give them a handful all the time. Kind of seems to be their preference over the orchard grass. Hey, sweetie. Why are you kicking? Okay, that's not going to happen, I guess, today. Sometimes you just have to accept that they're not going to listen to you and let you pet them. Okay, so now for tidying up these ladies. Annie here has been in heat today. So she has been absolutely nutty. I wish spaying for females wasn't so risky, or she would be the perfect candidate to spay because her hormones really affect her greatly. She just acts like a wild beast, chasing her sister, trying to hump her, and then all you can hear is Annabelle screaming, like the scream of "get away from me." And that happens, like when she comes into heat, it happens for about an entire day. And I feel bad for Annabelle, but there's like really nothing I can do. And I would love on one hand to get Annie spayed so that wouldn't happen anymore. But then the other part of me is spays are quite invasive and can be risky. So if something happened to Annie and I didn't actually need to spay her, how terrible would you feel about that? You know what I mean? It's different when Nanaimo needed to be spayed because she had cysts. And even though she passed away, I knew that was basically the only thing I could do for her. Whereas Annie, does she have to be spayed? Well, at this point, no, but I really think it would help her relax and enjoy herself more. But luckily, it's only for a day, so like one time a month pretty much is when she's crazy. So I don't know, guys. It's just one of those things that I was like, if spaying was more like neutering males where it wasn't such a big deal, I would definitely do it, but at this point I can't justify putting her at risk. It's one reason I wish these girls would go with the herd, so that would take the focus off of just Annabelle. Annie could go bug other pigs. Be lots more to do versus just bugging her sister. But what can you do? Back when Piggle's rescue was still happening, they spayed a lot of females, which was really cool. That's where Apple and Pecan came from, and they're both spayed. It is a nice thing knowing that you don't have to worry about ovarian cysts or uterine cancers later in life. Because sadly, just like for rabbits, it happens with pigs too. But spaying isn't really well known. And for my vet clinic, the one vet who did spay Nammy, he is not at the vet clinic anymore. Unfortunately, he passed away, which was really sad. He was such a wonderful person. So my vet clinic, my other vet, she doesn't do any spays, so we would have to go travel really far for a spay. So traveling really far to a different clinic is another reason that doing a spay is pretty iffy feeling for me. Traveling really far, somewhere that you're not used to going, I don't know. And as I said, it's only one time a month where she seems like an absolute nut bar. She seems quieter this evening than this morning. But these two pigs and Angus, holy cadoodle, are they just the spazziest, hyper, loudest screaming pigs you've ever heard. I wish spaying was more well known for guinea pigs and more routine like a neuter, so that all the females could be free of having a hormonal time and free of potential uterine cancer or ovarian cysts later in life. Because it sucks too, usually it's older females that will get it, and then by the time they're older, the risk of the surgery goes way up as well. So it's kind of a pickle to be in. Yeah, those are my evening thoughts, I guess. Do you need some, Annie? I hear ya. A bit more here. Here you go, girls. he does.
Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again real soon. In case you have time for another video, I've left 2 here for you to pick from.